Now the first story is taken from Ghana Web, and it says how Afenyomarkin sneaked out after instructing MPs to cause mayhem in Parliament. I hear 4 recounts, and I read it. Now, the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament and Chairman of the Appointments Committee of Parliament has accused the Minority Leader, Alexander Kwamina Afenyomarkin, of being behind the chaos that was seen in Parliament during the ministerial vetting on Thursday, January 30, 2025. Now, according to Bernard Ahiafo, Afenyomarkin was the one who ordered the new Patriotic Party members of Parliament on the Appointments Committee to cause the commotion that was seen. Ahiafo, the Member of Parliament of Akachi South, who made these claims in an interview on Joy News on Monday, February the 3rd, 2025, said that the Minority Leader gave the orders for the MPs to act in the manner they did. He added that right after giving the order, Afenyomarkin, the MP of Efutu and ranking member of the Appointments Committee, walked out so he would seem he was not involved in what happened. So it would seem he was not involved in what transpired. In his own words, he said, now the Minority Leader played smart and safe. I heard him asking them to do some of the things that they did. But when they were about to start, he left the room. It was later that he came back to the room. So at the scene, the actual scene where they were dragging the table and putting the chairs on the table, he was at that material moment not in the room. When he came, he couldn't even move to my left side. He was behind me at my right side. But I know that Jerry was under his instruction to move, to go and stop Akando from taking the seat to be sworn in. He asked his side that they should all put on the microphone. I heard him saying they should call some people to come to the vetting room. He said, some MPs have been suspended. Afenyomarkin is not part of those. Now, if he truly was the ringleader, why is he not part of the punitive measures? My brother, at this point, I do not know what to say about Ghana Parliament anymore. It's a shame of a Parliament House. In fact, it's a shit house. Excuse my French. The same way Donald Trump describes some countries is the same thing I will slap on this Parliament. It's a shame, absolutely. From allegations of bribery and corruption, all the way down to pleas and manipulations, and even, my brother, my sister, what could be a far cry from lobbying? This Parliament has been inundated in deep crisis called shame. My brother, my sister, I am so hurt. And if I am hurt, what would the constituents who voted for these hooligans and vandals, who are right there in the Parliament House breaking tables and microphones, I wonder how they would feel. I wish there was a way we could vote out again before their tenure of office ends, so we could vote some of these MPs out. My brother, this is the chairman of the Appointments Committee. He was there. He saw everything. He's supposed to play neutral. He's supposed to only speak when he is supposed to speak. He says that he saw Afenyo marking and he heard him loud and clear, ordering his side to go on the rampage. He went ahead to tell them to switch on their microphones so the whole world would hear their dirty, irresponsible noises made in the room. What shameless MPs. And these are guys who want to be called honorables. What a shame. From telling us, oh, we were begged not to vet this person because she lost her husband. I just knew that this guy has no common sense, and these guys have no common sense of patriotism. Shame on you guys. I don't know what teachers taught these people when they were in school. I don't know if they ever took lessons in morality and also lessons in civics. They didn't. A lot of these guys are nothing but politicians. They don't have any other day job. They didn't learn any other thing apart from tricking and lying to the people. That is how they get their daily bread. Lying and tricking the people. In Ghana, politics is all about lying. How best you can lie and go uncaught. That way you would be able to make a good living. If you are a politician in Ghana and you cannot lie, it will be extremely difficult for you and nothing will happen for you. If it is true that Afenyo marking ordered his side to do this, suspend all of them. Let all of them go. Let them pay for every single table that they broke. 3 times the cost. Let them pay for all the microphones that they broke. 3 times the cost. And they should write apology letters to the good people of Ghana. They should come here and beg the good people of Ghana that they will be of better behavior, having been hooligans and vandals when they should be honorables. What a shame. This is so nauseating, my brother. You wake up and you are reading new things every day about this abysmal, irresponsible attitude of people who should be called honorables. What a shame. What a shame. What a shame. Now that we have been told that the woman, Mrs. Okulu, there was some kind of shenanigans that went under the table. Could she be called back for a proper vetting in the interest of the nation? Massa, can we bring back a Blakk Rasta and ask all those questions again as he says he's ready for that? This is true democracy. My brother, after all, we all know from common sense that when you write an examination, whether you pass or fail, and it is said and known that whilst you were writing the examination, some kind of illegality went on, you can be called back to rewrite, or your papers could be cancelled outright, depending on the veracity of the issue. My brother, my sister, having said this, shame on all these guys. You are nothing but vandals with no common sense of patriotism. And at this point, you are guilty as charged. Next thing I want to look at is still from Ghana Web. And it says, suspension of MPs. NPP MPs arrive in Parliament in black and red amid tight security. And I read, new Patriotic Party members of Parliament stormed Parliament House clothed in black and red apparels ahead of the sitting on Tuesday, that's today, February 4, 2025. Now the Minority Caucus MPs are protesting the suspension of 3 of their members by the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, over the chaos that was experienced during the ministerial vetting on January 30, 2025. As seen from videos from Parliament, the NPP MPs gathered in front of the main building to express their displeasure over the suspension. They then proceeded into the building, but were denied access onto the main floor of the House by security officials. Some of the MPs could be heard saying, "We are not criminals. We have every right to enter the chamber." According to Ghana Web's reporter at Parliament, George Ayisi, the NPP MPs were not granted access to the floor because of the red scarves they had on them. They were subsequently granted access after they agreed to remove the scarves. Now the situation is what some believe is a case of the Security Office of Parliament getting wind of potential commotion in the House. Before the arrival of the NPP MPs, some areas of the House were barricaded by security. My brother, my sister, are these parliamentarians or vandals? Are these parliamentarians or hooligans? Listen, Parliament has its own code of dressing. You cannot wear a scarf as a man to enter the Parliament House. You know this very, very well. You decided to clad yourselves in scarves, ready to break your own rules because you are lawless. Lawmakers who are lawless, shame on you. Now you go to the Parliament House in scarves. You want to be allowed into the Parliament House improperly dressed. You are not even ready to wear African print because you still have access and honor for your slave masters. It's time to demonstrate. You want to break all the laws of the Parliament. After you have broken the tables and the microphones, it's not enough for you. Now you want to break the laws of Parliament by wearing scarves to the Parliament House. What a shame. Look, if this continues, very soon we're going to have security personnel beating up parliamentarians in Parliament because they deserve beatings. If I were a policeman on duty, I would whip a lot of these MPs, whip them to pulp. They are not acting in the best interest of the nation. So they deserve to be whipped and beaten. If you can go to a shaman and beat up people for vandalizing a few things there, if you can go to Nima and beat up people for vandalizing a few things during a demonstration, why can't you whip these irresponsible politicians who call themselves honorables in Parliament for desecrating the holy grounds of lawmaking? What a shame! They decided not to allow them to enter the Parliament House. They made all their ugly noises. They backed down later. After all, they are just a micro minority. The nation has rejected you. The few lucky ones who merited it maybe to get into the Parliament House, you are behaving this foolishly. Look the number. Look at the number of NPP MPs who were voted out. In one day you are majority. The next day you are micro minority, not even minority. And instead of counting yourselves very, 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 very meritorious and serve the people accordingly, you are in Parliament misbehaving. And you want to be called honorables. You know how to threaten people, call them before you, haul them before you, and threaten them with laws that you will soon lose. Laws that you yourselves do not respect. What a shame. I'm so ashamed of this Parliament. So this is the gateway to Africa. The country that is touted as the gateway to Africa. This is how their parliamentarians behave. I want to thank Alban Bagbin, in fact, for pulling out the whip and beginning to lash them. Remember, Alban Bagbin, at the end of the day, it is going to be your legacy that during your tenure as Speaker, there was so much lawlessness that you couldn't deal with. I'm sure you don't want that. It's good you are cracking the whip right now. Please, crack the whip hotter and harder. Some of these guys, they don't even have respect for themselves, let alone for the country Ghana. I leave it here. Now the final story I want to look at, and I'm going to be quite brief with this. Still from Ghana Web. Maurice Ampao backs down on wild pledge to relocate to Togo should Mahama become president. And I read, private legal practitioner Maurice Ampao has commented on his promise to leave the country in the run-up to the 2024 general election if John Dramani Mahama becomes president again. Now, speaking in an interview on GTV on Tuesday, February 4, 2025, Ampao said that his promise was just political talk because he wanted former President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who was the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, to win the election and not Mahama, the candidate of the NDC. He added that even though Mahama won the election and is president again, he is going nowhere, contrary to his earlier bragging pledge. NDC has won. And you know, during the campaign, I was on the side of Bawumia, and I did a lot of harm to the NDC. And I made a lot of political statements. If Mahama wins, I will leave for Togo. I would not go. I would not go because Ghana is far better than Togo. But it's part of the political game. I was trying to say that it's not possible for Mahama to come. As I'm sitting here, I don't even have a passport. I have never traveled before, he said. He added, I have been in Ghana for the past 57 years of my life. For me to say that I would leave for Togo was a political gimmick, trying to ginger the people. Let's make it happen. And then at the end of the day, Mahama proved to me that everything is possible. He added that he does not regret the statement he made because it was just political talk. So the definition of political talk is what? What does it mean to say political talk? Is it foolhardiness? Is it rashness? What is political talk? Is it saying things that you don't mean? Foolhardiness, rashness, buffoonery? What is it? What does it mean to say political talk? Now you trust any bleached man at your own peril. Can I say it again? You trust any man who bleaches at your own peril. If a man with low self-esteem can bath himself in bleaching creams, and he comes to stand before you and talk, and you believe him at your own peril, any bleached man who comes to stand before you and he talks to you and you believe him is at your own peril. Low self-esteem. I still don't believe that this man is a lawyer. I honestly don't believe it. If I were him, at least I would have relocated to Togo for 1 month so that I would come back and say, yes, I relocated 1 month and I'm back to continue with the fight. Some of us meant what we said because we haven't bleached our faces and arms and legs. Again, We are very credible. A month before the elections, you all saw what happened. I was in Jamaica. I was in America and some other countries where I booked my own rooms. My brother, my sister. So that if Ghanaians were numb enough to the pain and the pangs of the wanton disrespect for our economy and democracy by the Bawumia Akufo-Addo government and went ahead to vote for this guy again, I would never have been part of this. I would have left. Sometimes I look at my passport and I smile. Several years of visas that I have in my passport ready to move. My brother, my sister, it's crazy what is happening in this nation. It is more than just crazy, my brother. Crazy. More than just crazy, my brother. Hey! Maurice Ampao tells you that if Mahama wins the election, he would go to Togo in relocation because he heard Blakk Rasta say, hey, you know what? If Bawumia wins this election, I am going to leave Ghana because it would have meant that Ghanaians are not a people to empathize with. I wonder if this bleach-faced guy even understands these words that I'm using. Maybe you have to slice them down better. You can't joke with the nation like, you think the nation is for jokers? Look how down the nation has been blown and battered. You come with bleach faces and disrespect the democracy of the nation like this. I'm so angry with this man. You follow a super illiterate, following me around and he's playing the buffoonery on TV, showing gold and all that, degrading the nation. That guy has gone quiet wound to me. We allow all these buffoons, my brother, my sister, to disturb the democracy of this nation and make us look like some people with no common sense. Our children are growing up and they are losing interest in this country. Patriotism has been battered to the ground, flat. And these bleach faces still sit down and say, it was a political talk. Political talk. What the heck is political talk? Buffoonery? Rashness? Foolishness? What is it? Be a man. You said it. Move out. I was ready. Today, I'm struggling to get my rent from Jamaica. They are not giving it to me. The rent that I paid in Jamaica to live and some other places, they are not paying me back that money. I'm not bothered. At least, Bawumia is not the president of the nation, despite the umpteen amount of money that they spent trying to bribe voters to vote for them. Bawumia is the biggest disappointment in Ghanaian politics. You served under a man who treated you like a puppet on a string. You didn't say a word for 8 solid years. This joker. Then you come and tell us that, oh, I was just a mate. Move over. Move over. No wonder he had comedian bleach faces like these guys following him. Wood to me and all those guys with no common sense. I'm so angry, man. So dirty angry. The democracy of this nation will not have any meaning if we still have these bleach faces and buffoons moving around, my brother, talking just anyhow. We must radically chase them out so our nation can be taken seriously. Political talk is what? Missy political talk no ya bada. Mentase. Or ya done. And GTV or what TV station is that? Allow this guy to come and sit down there and talk. You have no respect for your time. You have no respect for your time. Well, it's been the voice of the patriot. My name is Blakk Rasta, and I want to appreciate you.